around the world. Today's topic is, what is a virus? Everywhere we go today, the conversation is about the virus. You go to the grocery, it's the virus. Put a mask in front of your face. You go to the shop, everywhere. Now there's so many things we can discuss, such as the ramification of locking down the countries and the world. But today I want to stick to a topic, so because I get carried away, I make some notes. So what is a virus? And to try to help you understand this, what I want to do is try and show you from a scientific perspective, not just theology. We all know this is the last days. We are all aware all over the world about everybody's talking about the vaccine and the chip, but let's look at the virus. The last time I spoke, we spoke about the effects of 5G, and I get a new software now, so I'm going to go more into it. So let's look at what a virus looks like, and this is what a viruses looks like. You see the different size, color, shape. This is all the different kinds of viruses, and these things are measured in pages and in nanometer and stuff like that. And what they're really saying is that in one drop of water you can have millions of viruses, literally, and I want you to take a good look at it. We have the smallpox, the Spanish flu, and these are different kinds of viruses. And just for the heck of it, a lot of people talking about the virus this, the virus that, and nobody knows what a virus looks like. And as I'm showing you here, most viruses, they are spherical in shape, as you just saw. So just take a quick look again. This is what they look like, and this big one here, this is what the coronavirus looked like. It's very, very large. And what I want to do is I want to go into how they look like from the scientific point of view. And this is what they really look like. You have the HIV virus, the hepatitis, the Ebola, rabies, influenza. And the funny thing is about these viruses is that they're everywhere. Everywhere you go, in your hands, there's millions of viruses. Everywhere you go, there's literally millions of viruses. Whether you touch something, in fact, if we ask, is there a difference in the way that a virus is made up? And we're seeing how they shape a little bit different here. And we have to ask, are they you hear so many things. You put on the news, you go on the YouTube, you hear everything about the virus. So let us examine what the inside of a virus look like. What is it made up of? And the difference between a bacteria and a virus. Because a lot of people don't seem to understand that there's a very, very big difference between a bacteria and the virus. So I want us to look at this here. And we're looking at the viruses and the bacteria. Now, this virus here are much, much smaller than the bacteria. In fact, a bacteria is 100 times or more bigger than a virus. So a lot of people talking about the virus this, the virus that, but I want you to get a perfect understanding, because they say knowledge is power. How does a virus work? How is it made up? What is the outside and inside of a virus? And this is important for you to know, so you'll know whether you put in your hand and the mask and all these things, how is it helping you, if it's helping you at all. So let's just look at the inside of a virus, if we can, for a minute. And I did a lot of work to prepare this for you so you can get a better idea, so when people are talking to you, you know what a virus looks like inside. Now, this is the virus. And This is the influenza virus, and this is a normal bacterium, right? If you look, a virus is really said to be, a lot of people tell you it's a protein and it's dead. And one will ask a very good question. If it's a protein and it's dead, then how come it spreads? And how come it duplicate or triplicate itself? And those are very, very good questions. Now, the answer to all of it is yes. A virus is actually a protein, a dead protein. But if you look inside a virus, you are seeing that it have RNA or DNA in the inside. And as such, what it does, when you take it in your hands or wherever, and it goes into your body, it tricks your cell. This here is your a bacteria. Now this virus is 100 or 1,000 times smaller than the bacteria. So what it does, and I'm going to show you this if I have a slide for it. I'm going to show you what it looks like from a closer point of view. This is the outer shell of your virus. This is the entire thing is called a protein, and this is a capsule. Now, the virus itself is inside the capsule, which is dead, which is the protein, the outer shell or envelope of the protein. And when we blow our nose or we cough or we sneeze, something happens. We are spreading this virus. Let me just show you what your when you blow your nose, you know that snot that you send out. This is what it looks like. This here, these blue little balls, these are the viruses, and these macaroni looking thing like capsules, this is the bacteria. Now this here is part of the, how you call it, the fluid or liquid. It is so small. This is in a nanometer. You're measuring this. And what I'm going to do here, I'm trying my best to give you from the best of my knowledge how this thing works. Now, any doctor or any virologist will tell you we all have viruses in our body. You say, but Mr. T, what do you mean we all have virus in our body? Well, the last time I spoke, I told you 3 trillion. What I really meant was 300 trillion viruses in your body at any given time. Different viruses. And 600 million bacteria. This is what you're made up of. So you'll ask, but what is the purpose? Why do we have all these viruses? Well, virus does a very, very good job in your body. The media is hyping it up to create fear, but I'll tell you what a virus does. It's good when you get the virus, the common cold and flu. That mucus that comes out of your body, it is millions and trillions of virus. It's like you're going to do your laundry, and you know that soap water liquid you put in the washing machine, or whether you're using a tub or whatever. This is what the virus is. It's like SIDS. It brings out the coal, and the coal is actually trillions of viruses. That soap water that cleanses your body, it grabs the toxins. When you get attacked by bacteria or other viruses, what these do is the body, through the bacteria, produce these viruses like soap to help wash and take the toxin and the other unwanted bacterium or infection and push it out of your body, the toxins and stuff. So we are lucky to have viruses. They're part of our building blocks. A lot of people are just getting scared and they don't know what the virus is all about. I want you to take a good look at this. Now, we discussed so far what is the size and shape of viruses. And this is through a microscope, what you will see if it's magnified with an electron microscope a few million times. I tried to show you what a virus is made up of, right? And this is this one here with the outer shell, the RNA or DNA inside. And I'm telling you, your body consists of trillions of viruses. So what we want to do is look at the coronavirus, what it really look like under a microscope. And this is what your virus look like under the microscope. Take a good look at it. And that, my friend, is your popular virus that everybody's so afraid of. And you know what's the good news? The funny good news is that this virus can be killed with your normal soap. Yes, your normal soap when you bathe and wash will kill this, because this is the body's soap to cleanse itself. Now, what's the purpose of all this virus in the body? This helps us cleanse and purge ourselves. Now, when we get too much of this and the wrong kind of virus, now the coronavirus is in the human body already. It's over 2,000 years old. Our labs in America has been studying and experimenting with the coronavirus since 2003, 2004, 2005, 2010, 2014, 16 and 18. Now, many of us will come to the conclusion when you have that evidence that it was modified into a biological weapon. And those who share that view, I share that view with you, because it was developed and designed at Fort Detrick's in Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. It was leaked, and you can see this in the New York Times in August of 2019. Some people got infected. But let's not get carried away with that story. I covered that already. We want to look at what the virus look like under a microscope. And this is what your viruses look like under a microscope. And that's very, very interesting. I wanted to show a picture of the virus under different circumstances. But I said, you know what? Let me just show you the hard facts here. I'm going to show you another thing now. That's the virus, how it look like under a microscope. And this is what it will look like when you want to dissect it and find out the parts and how it's made up. So here you have these arms, the membranes, the spike, what you call protein. This outer shell is the envelope, and this string inside here, like a worm, is the RNA or DNA. And with this you have what you also call your DNA, right? Your DNA strand. So, and this virus is continuously changing and morphing or evolving into other bacteria and stuff. So when they're telling us that it's this, that, or the other, yes, it's true. But getting an understanding of the virus, I want to say, what is the difference? And how is a virus different from a bacteria? And which one is good and which one is bad? And the answer is they're both good because you need them to survive, and they're both bad when you have too much of them. It's as simple as that. So let's take a look at how they shape and how they work. And this is what it looks like. So we have here the protein capsid, or the RNA or DNA of the virus. And on the other side, we have a bacteria. As you can see, the very shape is different. Now, the size is wrong here because the bacteria is normally 100 or 1,000 times larger than the virus. So we have to understand that while going through this part. I have another one here, the difference between a bacteria and a virus. And you know, they mainly consist of 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. But we don't want to get into the lab studies here, because then you'll say, well, Pastor, what are you really getting at? Now, I want us to look at another part of the virus. Again, bacteria versus virus. We see how the virus is shaped, and we see the shape of the bacteria. When you have too many of certain types, not any and anyone, what will happen? If you have the bacterial infection, because this is the big concern right now, is if I get sick, what happens? When you have a bacterial infection, you will have strep throat, your sore throat, you'll have tuberculosis, you'll have the whooping cough or UTI, and you know, if you have the virus, you normally have the common cold. You see, like, I've got a little bit of cold because I'm in and out of the AC, back and forth, down by the lake, up on the hill, and it's a beautiful day outside. Now, the common cold with the virus, you get a cold, you get the flu, you may get a sore throat. What works for it? Does antibiotics work for a virus? No. I have a little thing here I'm going to share with you, and I hope you can see this. So you can use this to figure out what you really have if you have an infection. So again, you have the virus, common cold, flu, sore throat. Antibiotics? No. Bacterial infection, sore throat or strep throat, tuberculosis, whooping cough, UTI, the antibiotics will work. But we have to understand that the difference between a bacteria and a virus is very hard to tell even by the best doctors. And both, if you have both, well, you can get ear infection, sinus, bronchitis, and a few other stuff. So I will say follow doctor orders, do what they're telling you to do. You know, don't go into a crowded area if you don't have to, because while a lot of the cases we're seeing is 5G, I strongly believe, and I am absolutely sure, there is going to be the actual virus breakout as it is happening now in America, Wuhan, and Italy, etc., and especially in Iran. In Trinidad, we do not really have a serious case of virus yet. We are having a lot of the 5G symptoms. Now, how can you really tell the difference? And I'm going to show a slide here, and I want you to keep it handy. Look at it so you remind yourself what is the symptoms for which, and how you can help yourself and your family. So you're ill, you have a cold or runny nose. It's most likely it's caused by a virus infection. No antibiotics needed. You have chest cold or bronchitis caused by a virus. No antibiotics. Whooping cough, a dry cough, is caused by bacteria. When you have that cough and you can hardly breathe and you feel your throat in pieces. When you have the flu, virus. Strep throat, again, bacteria. Antibiotics will work. When you have a sore throat, except the strep throat is caused by the virus. I want you to look at this. And sometimes you have the cold and even your air, inside your air is hurting, you know. And well, of course, when you have urinary tract infection, you sure it's a bacteria. You need to get some antibiotic, amoxil 500 or 250, but call your doctor. Your doctor is the one to help you in these things. I know a little bit by hanging around doctors, but your doctor is always your best bet. And this is the whole thing everybody want to know about. I did some studies on the COVID-19, and it is everywhere, because none of the scientists seem sure as to what is the cause of the COVID-19. And this is your virus under a microscope, amplified a few million times. So those of you who really want to know if the virus, this is what it looks like. So this is your coronavirus, or its family, because you've gotten so many photos from different universities, they all look different. So this is me with information on the virus. So many of you are going to get the virus, and I'm going to show you how relevant it is. We had Ian Allen, a very famous guy in Trinidad and Tobago, went to New York, come back, and they told him he had the COVID-19 virus. He went to the hospital, and he was furious recently because he said he don't have the virus. Well, Ian Allen, if you're looking at this, yes, you had the virus-like symptoms. The doctor and the medical report will tell you that. But what you really had was the effects of 5G. And this is a case in point in Trinidad. I hope the Prime Minister get a look at this video, where you can actually see well-known people and how 5G works. And they are right now installing 5G everywhere in our country. Ian Allen was a case of 5G. Hence the reason nobody he touched, nobody he worked with got any virus, because he was suffering the effects of radiation. Exposed, long exposure to radiation. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this was a help to you. I'm going to continue to try and bring you information, news on the news, as factual as is humanly possible for me. I hope I was a blessing. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and follow me next week as I again come, and next week we will go into details on the effects of 5G. And after that, I'm going to bring interesting topics for you on the Bible, on prophecy, on the last days, and what you should and shouldn't do. Again, all those of you who got in touch with me, thank you for your interest. Thank you for your compliments. Don't forget to share this video, share it to your family and friends, and continue sending me messages and email. I may not reply you the same time, but I promise I will as soon as I can get to it. Have a good evening, good night, God bless, and enjoy a wonderful weekend.